I've got a lot of questions in regards to care assistants, and I think I should just make a question and answer just to answer some of these questions. I know I've tried to reply to some, but it is impossible for me to reply to everyone individually. I have tried so many times, both in my Instagram message, my Facebook, my emails, questions, comments, everywhere is bombarded with questions. And what I've noticed is most of these questions are almost the same, repeated. So I'm going to be doing a question and answer. Stay tuned, watch to the end, share this video. Please remember to subscribe to this channel and to my vlog channel, Gloria's Vlog, in case I answer one of the questions that you may want to ask. So I've got so many questions, and the most, I would say the one that I've seen a lot is, how do we apply? How do we apply to become a care assistant in the UK? Although I've made a lot of video about step-by-step guide to how to become a care assistant in the UK, where to find your job, I know a lot of you are new to this channel, so you're still asking the same question. And I'm going to start by saying, please go back and watch some of those old videos or some of those videos I've made about how to become a care assistant in the UK. That's where you're going to get all the requirements, how to get your 70 points. But how do you apply? It is not as difficult as you think, but I know the most difficult part or the most challenging part is you finding a job, and that is actually the most difficult part. Once you can find a job, like I've always said, go to the UK website or go online. I'm going to make another video with links to some jobs that you can apply to. Please just stay tuned. After this video, I'm going to post that video about links that you can apply to. I've made videos about how you can go to find your job easily without paying anybody. So the most important thing is for you to find a job. And I've said your preparation phase, after you've made up your mind to travel, your preparation phase is where you're trying to gather your CV. I'm going to make another video on how to construct a professional UK standard CV. I've given the simple way, but if you want me to explain in detail, I'm going to do that. So once you've prepared your CV, you've gotten your experience. If you have experience, you've gotten your English exam, or you've gotten your NARIC certificate, which can be used in place of English exam. You've gathered all your documents, you're ready, you've made up your mind, you want to come to the UK as a care assistant. The next thing you want to do is to look for a job. So looking for a job is going to be one of the most challenging and the most important part of this process. So if you can look for a job, I can get a job with a tier 2 sponsor, you're almost in the UK already. So once you've gotten this job and ready to give you your certificate of sponsorship, your offer letter, you can use this to apply for your visa. So once you've applied for your visa, the next thing is for you to travel to the UK. And I know so many people are offering courses that you can do to become a care assistant. Please, if they're asking you for money, don't go. The moment you get your job, your employer will most of the time help you to get the link to maybe applying for your visa, or even if you go online and you just search for how to find a visa. So that is how to apply. So the question of how can I apply, the only way or the ways you can apply is for you to look for a job. So once you've looked for a job, apply for your visa, and that's it. It's as simple as that. I know we don't believe it because it looks too good to be true, because until someone takes money from you, you don't want to believe that you can do it yourself. But this is how to apply, okay? So I've got another question. I'm just going to be reading the questions, okay? I've got another question. Someone has asked, can a single parent survive as a carer with 2 teenagers in the UK? So teenagers, by how old are you talking about? From 18 and above, they are considered adult, and you cannot sponsor them under your visa. But surviving with 2 teenagers in the UK, number one, if they're not old enough, like if they're between their 13, 14, I would say they will still need childcare. You still have to be with them. So it may restrict you time for you to go and work and come back. But if you have if you have 2 teenage children, it's a lot of expenses, because you're going to be paying for, I don't know where you're going to be paying for, maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll be going to the university, their clothing, their feeding, they eat a lot. House rent, of course, they will need their own room. So you're talking about maybe 2 bedrooms, you see. with a care assistant salary, I don't think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to struggle a little bit. I may be wrong, I stand to be corrected. As much as I always say, depend on your financial, how you spend, it is also almost, it's going to be very difficult for you to be the only one to take care of two teenagers and pay all your bills with just the salary of a care assistant. But if they're old enough to stay on their own, and you can go and work extra shifts, agency care and all that, that may be something, and then hopefully they can move out, or hopefully they can get a job and support you as well once they're old enough. So that's the answer for that. And this person says, what if I just have my WAEC certificate as a Nigerian, because I just graduated and my school certificate is not yet ready? So you've got just WAEC and your school certificate is not ready. So like I've said, there's no specific requirements for you to become a care assistant in the UK. There's no specific requirement at all. The way they've made it, the way they've opened it, is like everybody in the whole world can apply, but it is left to the employer to decide what they want. Like I've always said, imagine you having someone who has got maybe 6 months experience, 1 year experience in care, they're already a graduate or they're a master's holder, and somebody who has just got WAEC certificate. Who will you choose to work for you? So it is left with the employer. I may not be able to stay, and even some certificate may be a bit maybe intimidating to some employer to say, oh God, I cannot employ, because I've got messages from people who are even doctors, nurses, wanting to come to the UK as a care assistant. As an employer, I won't be able to employ a doctor to come and be a care assistant, because I will feel they're going to leave, one. And then the second thing is, I will feel like I'm undervaluing them. How much are you going to pay them for their qualification? So it is actually dependent on the employer to decide if they're going to take you or not. I cannot say that. I cannot say that. If you're already in the UK, it is very easy to become a care assistant. Almost like everybody will be looking for you as long as you're ready to work. But if you're not yet in the UK, for your employer to be able to want to spend that amount of money, they should have something they've seen in you. Okay, does it make sense? It's still the same. How can I apply? Can I reapply? Okay, that's about visitor visa. How many hours do you work a day? So I work presently in my current job. I work 12 and a half hours because I resume 7 o'clock and I close 6:30. And they said, how do you eat? Do you get your food from home in the morning, or you're giving food? So currently, I go to work with my own food, with my snack, and then how we eat is, in my current job, we have 1.5 hours break. So we go 30 minutes 3 times. You go in the morning, you go for lunch, and then you go about 4-5, depending on when we are free. We take our break, then we sit down. Although usually most places, I've not worked anywhere where there's no milk and coffee and tea. That's the one thing the UK we do, and sugar. So if you want just coffee, tea, you can have that for breakfast. And then if you go with your lunch, and if you want supper or dinner, you can maybe eat there or go home, something, whatever. But in my previous care home, I would say we were told that if we're going to be working up to 12-hour shift, my care home, or even employers generally in the UK, are supposed to provide you at least 1 course meal. So what we do sometimes is they give us a meal ticket, where we just write what we want, and then we take it to the kitchen. The kitchen will just plate our food, or sometimes food that is remaining, I don't know. It's not legal. I don't know if it's legal. If it's not legal, I may be wrong. But like what I was told by my previous care homes is that the employer should provide 1 course meal if you're working up to 12-hour shift. So yes, in the home, usually we can get maybe food, whatever is left from what the residents have eaten, instead of throwing it in the bin. But presently, my current job, I actually go to work with my food. The only thing I just get from work is milk, tea, hot water, sugar. I don't take sugar. So yeah, that is it. Okay. Yeah, I think under the video where I made about cost of living in the UK, someone is asking, what about single mom with kids? So it is the same thing. Everybody coming to the UK, if you're single and you don't have your partner with you to help you with your children, if your children are too young, it is going to be very challenging. Even as a nurse, as a doctor, whoever you are, it is going to be a bit challenging, because childcare is very, 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 very expensive. And then another problem you're going to have will be with the visa. I've always shared this. I shared when my visa was refused. If your husband or your wife is not coming with you, your children may not get visa because they don't want to separate your children from their parent, okay? So both of you should already be in the UK or be applying when the children are applying. Another thing is, if your partner, or if you're divorced, your partner is not going to be in the life of the children, they need to give you an official document to say that you are the sole guardianship or the sole person who is responsible for the children. They have to just prove to say that they are the only one that has access to the child, and that the other partner or the other parent has given the consent for them to go. So you may not even get visa if the children are still too young for them to consent to want to leave one of their parents behind. Okay, thanks for the regular info here. Please, our graduates of English taught programs mandate to take IELTS for healthcare assistant work visa. So this is just, I would just say, for you to come into the UK, for your visa, you need either NARIC, which is a certificate to show that you've been taught in English, or you need to write IELTS, okay, for your visa. So whatever you study, as long as you're coming under the point-based system, which is a 70-point based system, you need to be able to prove that you can speak English by either providing NARIC or by taking IELTS. Do carers need special training? Like I've said, carers don't need any special training, but if you have any training, it's an added advantage, and it is left for your employer to decide if they're going to take you with your training or without trainings. Okay, please, do I write my IELTS exam before applying for a job? Whichever way, your employer may ask you, do you have IELTS already? If you say you have it, good. If you don't have it, you're going to write it, but you need to have it before you process your visa. Do they accept OET for carers? I'm not aware of OET. I may be wrong, but I know of IELTS, because what you need it for is for your visa. So I don't know if they will accept OET. I know OET are for professionals like nurses, doctors, medical professionals. I don't know if there's OET for carers, so I may not be able to answer that. Another question I found interesting here is, thanks for your beautiful information. I'm a retired nurse stroke midwife from Nigeria. I'm already in the UK with 2 years visiting visa. This is my 5th trip in the UK. I'm still interested working in the UK. What help or assistance can I render? I actually don't have any specific help or assistance, because I don't recruit and I'm not an immigration officer. I only share information, like I've always said. But if you're on a visitor visa, you shouldn't be working. And if you're going to be working, you need to leave the country and apply from outside the country. If you want to become a care assistant, if you want to become anything under working visa, you should not be working while you're on a visiting visa. If you're caught, or if your employer is caught, is a lot of fine. I think £10,000 fine for the employer, and then it will affect you reapplying. And if you're retired, I don't know how convenient it would be for you to come and start working as a carer, because care work is not joke. It's not funny. It is very demanding. It is very, very busy. Permit me to say, I don't know how strong you are, but I just think it's going to be a bit stressful for someone who is already retired. And as a nurse stroke midwife, if you still want to work in the UK, I will advise you to just take your IELTS, take your English exam. And I've also got so many questions about what ages are allowed to apply for either care, nursing. As long as you're between 18 and 65, which should be the retirement age, you are allowed to apply for any work in the UK as long as you meet the requirement. Okay, so as long as you're within this age range, you should be fine. Let's try to answer some questions from Instagram, and I also made a post on my community page for questions. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm very conscious. This person said, thank you for your numerous videos. They've been helpful. Please, I'm a student trying to migrate to the UK through the care assistant route. I've gotten few certifications from Allison, Florence Academy, and Inspire College London. I've added all this to my CV. I've not been successful. I keep getting, unfortunately, from care homes, and I don't really know what to do. You just need to keep applying, keep trying. There's nothing we can do. I cannot give you a job. I'm so sorry. Hi Gloria, I want to find out, how long does the certificate of sponsorship take to come out after they've already applied? I think this person has already gotten the job. Usually it should be within 15 working days, but it may be longer because of COVID. Sometimes it's even faster. Like my last job, this is my current job, it took about 3 days for me to get it, maybe because I'm already in the UK. Can I apply for the job before taking IELTS and I receive offer letter? I've already answered this question somewhere. I just need to know if while working as a senior care, one can still write IELTS and pass, and right, or ski. Okay, will there be any hindrance from the agency? So depending on your contract, some agents or some company will say you have to work for 3 full years. Some will say you have to work for 5 full years, just like nursing contract. You have to maybe pay them back, or you have to complete your contract. So depend on what your contract says. If your contract says you can pay them back and leave, that is good. Or if your contract says you don't need to pay, you can leave within how many months you want, that's okay. But if your contract says you cannot leave and you've signed that contract, you may not be able to leave. Although employers should not be able to hold you down, but please just read your contract before you sign. I want to know if I can study accelerated nursing or social work in the UK. I don't have health course background. Also, what are the requirements for me to get admitted? So that is about school, because if you don't know, I'm also studying in the UK while I work full time. You don't have any health background, but you want to do accelerated course. I think you need to start from basic and go to your full nursing school or full university to be able to be a registered nurse. I may be wrong. Hi Gloria, I'm a mom of 2. I'd like to do this very much. I'm a Nigerian, but I have zero experience or knowledge in healthcare. Please, how do I start? I've already explained how you can start, and they said they're overwhelmed. Just start one step at a time. You don't have any experience. You don't need any experience except your employer wants experience. Can £20,000 salary per annum sustain me and 2 kids for the whole year and still save little? What's the average cost of 1 bedroom? I think I've answered that video in the cost of, and I just responded, I said I'm uploading a video about that today. So I think I've answered that question in my video I made about cost of living, on how you can survive as a care assistant in the UK. Hello Gloria, I like your video. They are quite informative. Please, thank you. I have a question. I've been living in the UAE for about 3 years now. Would I still need a TB test to apply for healthcare work? No. When I was coming from the UAE, Dubai precisely, to the UK, I did not do TB test at all. My family did not do TB test. You don't need it. Can I apply for jobs before taking IELTS? You can. And when I receive offer, yes, you can if you want. I just need to know if while working as a senior carer, okay, I think I've answered that. I want to migrate, but don't know which route will be better to go through. Healthcare assistant or study route. So these 2 routes are 2 different routes. So if you're coming as a healthcare assistant, you're coming to work. If you're coming as a student, you're coming to study, basically. So, and coming as a student is very, very expensive. So depend on your financial capability. And you said they keep requesting for NVQ3 diploma. Maybe you're applying for a senior care assistant. They will want you to have NVQ3 if you're in England, and SVQ3 if you're in Scotland. Hello Gloria, my question is job for forklift operator, is it available in the UK? I may not be able to answer that right away because we're talking about healthcare assistant. Salary, year, month, hour, band 5 nurse in NHS versus private. Is there any limited about overtime? Is overtime available? Depending on where you work, yes, there's usually overtime available. You can also join agency. Normally, you shouldn't work more than 20 hours over your work hours, but because of COVID, that has been lifted and there's no limit, but you have to be careful because of your indefinite leave to remain. And then you're asking which is better between the NHS or the private. That's like a whole full video on its own. And I've got so many questions about, I have no experience, can I apply? Like I've said, everybody can apply depending on the employer if they're going to take you. Can you help me with healthcare job like that? Are willing to hire employees from international. Those are fun as so far are not willing to offer sponsorship. We just need to keep applying. I have a degree in accounting. Can I apply? Yes. Can you help me sample cover letter on care assistant? I will make a video about how to write your CV. When should you want to do a TB test and police clearance when you want to apply for your visa? I have a degree in marketing. Can I apply? Yes. And so many people are also saying, I'm interested. I don't want this video to be too long. It's already long enough. If I've answered your question, please drop a comment and say, yes, I've answered your question in the comment section. Or if I have not, kindly say I have not. And I will see if possible, if you want me, come back to make a part 2 of your question and answer to try to still cover some of the questions. Is a lot. I don't want to overwhelm you with this video. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you understand. If you don't, just rewind this video and play it back a couple of times. And I hope I've answered all your questions questions. If I've not responded to your comment, please, I'm seeing them. I'm just not physically able because of my tight schedule. I've not been able to respond to everyone individually, but I'm not taking you for granted. Remember, I love you. Thank you so much for joining my YouTube, and thank you so much for watching. I hope I will see you again in another video. Until then, stay safe, keep pushing, don't give up, and one day you're going to get it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to click the subscribe button, share, like, and press the notification bell. I'll see you later. Bye.